Rich Morris here from The Singing Drummer. Wanted to take just a quick second and thank you guys so much for continuing to watch videos and subscribe, even though I haven't made a video in like 6 months. And I apologize for that, but I tell you, life has just been silly busy. We did some traveling this summer. The wife and I went on a nice long vacation. It was well deserved and well needed. We've been working on the house, not nonstop, but man, it felt like it was nonstop. But we're finally done with that now that it's all wet and rainy in the Pacific Northwest here and stuff. So now it's time to come down in the basin and get some work done on building this channel and doing some more singing drum covers, which I've only done one in the studio. I've done a bunch of singing drumming. Obviously, that's just what I've done like my whole life. But I've only done one cover down here. And why? It took me forever to get some images, some video that I felt like it was the way that I wanted it to look. Am I super happy with it? No. It was the first one and so far the only one. And part of the problem with it, I think, has been these cameras. Now, I've got two Canon Vixia camcorders. They're quite old. They've got a very, very small sensor, and I've got three GoPro, GoPro Hero 5 Blacks. Again, very, very small sensors. That kind of stuff for taking video of your kids' soccer games or whatever, or taking the GoPros out in the woods and stuff like that and doing stuff, they're great for that. Down here, to try to make something look at least somewhat cinematic, and which is the look that I'm trying to go for down here, they're not doing it. They just don't do it. So I was watching, I was scrubbing YouTube trying to figure out what kind of camera should I get, because I don't know if you know this, but cameras and lenses are expensive. Even when you buy the beginner entry-level model, you're still talking, $500, $600, $700 a pop for a new camera that can do 4K, that's got a decent, not just a starter grade lens, all that kind of stuff. And then you need lights. Oh my gosh, then you need lights. So was watching YouTube and found a drummer, and I'm like, man, I really like the softness, the look of what's going on in his studio space. And come to find out, he put a video out, and I'll put a link down in the description. He put a video out on the cameras that he uses. Didn't put a video out on the lights that he uses or how he lights, but he did put a video out on the cameras. And the cameras were, let's see if I can get this right, Blackmagic Production Cinema Camera 4K. They're big cameras, they're cinema cameras, they're not the little Blackmagic pocket cameras that you see everybody with now. These are kind of old school behemoths. They're 15-ish years old now, but they shoot in 4K. They've got a super 35 mil. I keep on looking, I'm sorry, I'm looking up at one of the cameras to kind of remember what I'm supposed to be talking about here. They've got a super 35 millimeter sensor, so it's a honkin' sensor. And I don't have the best lenses. I've got a nice 50 millimeter on this one, but I've got some kind of entry-level lenses on the other ones. But I was able to get into, these cameras when they were brand new, they were like $4,000. Real cinema movie-making cameras. And I was able to pick these up used for like, $650 a piece. But it was something I wanted to do to try to create the look that I wanted to see down here in the studio. Now, what do they look like? Now, they're a little dark because I haven't been able to touch these up post-processing. This is just straight out of the camera, straight into the switcher, straight into OBS, and straight onto YouTube. And to me, they are a little dark, but in DaVinci Resolve, I can increase the gamma, I can change some things and brighten them up because the information's there, because these things record in RAW, stupid huge files. They record on solid state drives, laptop solid state drives, and so I can record a whole video or a whole couple videos in RAW And yeah, the files will be huge, but man, the manipulation I can do, the color correction that I can do is pretty amazing, even for somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. But let me show you what they look like. So this is what oh, I forgot to tell you, I brought my show kit home. Why? Because I'm not singing and playing drums for Madwagon anymore. I'm just singing, and a buddy of mine, Tommy, is playing drums. So now I get to bring my show kit home and do covers on it. And this is more like how I wanted my drum set to look like. And yeah, it may be a little dark, but how glassy, how glassy and soft everything looks, not harsh like this thing. It took me so long to try to set up a shot with these cameras, and then so long in post-processing to try to get them to look somewhat soft and somewhat cinematic. That's why I haven't done any other singing drum covers on this channel in this studio space, because I've just been too depressed to try to even work with this gear. So I bought some new gear. So that's one of the things we did. And with this new gear, we're going to start doing some more videos. Right now, later today, I'm going to work on a video comparing some SE7 condenser mics that I have and some ribbon mics to use for overheads. Why am I thinking about using ribbon mics? One, ribbon mics tend to have a little bit of a softer sound than some of the harsher small condenser mics, because all I could afford was some small condenser mics. And why do I want kind of a softer sound? Because I'm singing with live mics in the room, recording drums. I would like for my vocal mic to have my vocals and the drums to be sent through triggers, and the cymbals to come through something that captures cymbal sounds but maybe is not quite so active as a condenser mic. And if I said harsh before, the SE7s are not harsh. If I said harsh, it's not right. But you can hear, like, let's say, a mouse fart across the room. They are super, super sensitive, which means as I'm playing the drums and I'm singing, my voice is going to go right into those. And that's not necessarily what I want. So I'm going to try some ribbons and see if they work. And if they don't, they were inexpensive, and I'll use them for something else. But that's what we got coming up next. And then I've got some other songs that I want to practice on so that I can get them out. And that, which leads me to my next point. If you have a song that you'd like me to try to play and sing, remember, I'm no Neil Peart, I'm no Danny, what's his name from Tool. I'm a straightforward rock and roll drummer, and I sing. So if you want some stuff like that, put it down in the description. Let's see what I can put together. So to make this short and sweet, I did just want to thank you guys for subscribing, hitting the notification bell. You know I'm not going to be filling up your email inbox with videos, notifications, because I just don't put them out that much. But if you're interested in what we're trying to do down here, which is singing drum covers in a studio kind of like environment, and have them look halfway decent and sound halfway decent, which is pretty hard to do dealing with what you're dealing with here, follow along. And if you've got suggestions, let me know, because I'm learning all along, and I've learned so much from you and your suggestions and your comments. I really, really appreciate it. And not just for my channel, but for anybody's channel. If you see a link, please do not be afraid to click on that link for Amazon or for Sweetwater or for whoever else it's an affiliate link for. Let me tell you how that thing works. You can click on that, like for some of the bass video that I did. People have clicked on that bass. They ended up not buying a bass, but because they went to that bass link and it showed them another bass and it showed them a guitar, but they bought the guitar, there was a little tiny stipend that got sent my way. Is it a lot? No, because it was a cheap bass, so they're not looking at spending a lot of money. They probably bought a really, really cheap guitar, but it sends enough my way that over time I can buy some nicer chords or some upgraded lights. Those kind of things. It helps me build the channel. Didn't cost you a thing, did not raise the price of the product, but it helps the person who's trying to put out the content. So if you want to support people putting out content, please click those links, find something you like, buy it. It's all good. Anyway, that's my spiel. Hey, thank you guys so much again for subscribing, for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. Now I got to get some videos made. All right, thanks. Have a great new year.